So we just picked up a new maintenance contract out at this building. Just has 6 package units out here. We got this whole contract. We did a service call during the summer for a compressor that failed, and I think we ended up swapping out the whole unit or something like that this last year. So this is, they finally got everything on paper. We're out here for the first maintenance, and I was kind of looking at this carrier package unit. It's just a huge flaw that I've seen on these carriers, that I'm sure some of you guys might have seen this as well, but I was kind of going through everything. I fired it off. I tested it in heat, and when it shut off, I just had a weird kind of just raw gas, kind of unburnt gas smell. You could just tell it wasn't burning good just off the smell alone. And I'm sure some of you guys know that smell I'm talking about, that have seen stuff that's just not burning off right. I do know that this particular system has issues with the heat exchangers, just these carriers that have this style of burner right here. What I've noticed is if people aren't using the backup wrench when they're hooking up to it, it'll contort everything. So then the burners, you might not notice it right away when someone fires it off, but it just over time, when it's sitting a little crooked going into the heat exchanger here, it'll over time just kind of like rot out the heat exchanger or crack it. So like I said, I had that weird gas smell. I decided to kind of just pull this thing apart. It's super easy. They basically just have a panel usually like right here, has a bunch of screws in it. I pulled that out, and when I quickly looked at it, what I've seen in the past is you can see how it's really discolored right here. A lot of times I've seen them crack somewhere in here, like when the flame's pointed down, it's just putting that direct heat right on the pipe. But then as I started looking closer, I noticed there's a really big crack right here on the top of it. Let's see if I can get the camera in there. You can kind of see it there. There's a crack like on top. Well, then the one on the back completely is like broke loose. You can see like this huge gap right here. It just completely like snapped off from where it ties into this main piece here. So I noticed that it definitely, I mean, I don't know how long it's been like that, but like I said, I just kind of, one, from past experiences, I knew that this has a lot of issues with these heat exchangers when they get off of, when they're not centered right going into the heat exchanger or the burner and everything, get it misaligned. But also just that smell kind of drew me to that right away. I mean, I was going to check it regardless, just because first time coming to this site, I like to be really thorough and check as many things as I can think of. And I will say, like, I've messed with some in the past, like right here, this whole piece, you can see there's a screw right down here. It comes out, you can slide this whole thing out and get a lot easier access into this burner. But I've had some where, you know, when you're trying to do it on site after it's been twisted or contorted or whatnot, it's really hard to get that thing lined up right going forward. So that is kind of a crappy thing to have to deal with, but the fix would be basically a new heat exchanger. Sometimes I'll just do like the heat exchangers, burners, everything all at once. And then just kind of keep an eye out that like this piece that comes out on the other side of the gas valve that kind of runs down, that has the orifices and everything, just make sure that that isn't like really twisted or mangled. So I mean, we'll go over some options with these guys and see what they want to do with this heat exchanger and everything, but I know they're not going to be happy about it, because right now when I got here they had heat because it was actually working with all that going on, but I'm probably going to be shutting off the heat with how bad that break is. I mean, that thing is probably leaking some flame, shooting some flame off inside this compartment and everything. But yeah, I just want to be thorough and good with it, you know. And like I said, I'll leave my note inside this unit just stating kind of what I found and all that. I do see I have another one of these almost exact same carriers over there, which I'll be going to that one next and seeing if I run into the same situation over there or if it looks good. So hopefully for their sake it's fine and they can keep the heat running, but we'll go from there. So other stuff I'm doing, since it's the first time I'm on my first time at this site, I'm just kind of gathering model and serial numbers and equipment information as far as belt sizes, filter sizes, access, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of documenting like what suite they each take care of and stuff like that too. But yeah, that was pretty much everything. I just wanted to kind of show, I've noticed this flaw with Carrier for years. I've been surprised I actually haven't changed the design of this burner, because it seems like every time I work on a Carrier like this, I've seen this cracked heat exchanger. But if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.